Hi, welcome everybody. This is Jennifer Roberts. You're catching me on my YouTube channel, True Divine 44. You can also get me on my Facebook page, True Divine 44, and it is the True Divine for both Instagram and Twitter. You can hit me up for any tarot readings, any spiritual guidance sessions, and any energy work sessions. You can get me through Facebook Messenger at True Divine 44, or you can go to truedivinemedia@gmail.com. So I put out as much free content as I can to help support, guide and inspire. It is general, so take what resonates and leave what does not. This is where I combine the energy work that I do and the tarot work that I do to help you recognize the energies that you may feel within on a certain day, around you, or indeed within others, and help you figure out the best way to make the most of each day that you have. And so this is for the 27th of September 2020, and the Sun card appears. Hooray, because we need some sunshine in our lives. Yes, we do. Now, it is clarified by the Judgment card, which is going to keep coming out until we hear that trumpet call. Even if you've already heard that trumpet call, to give you encouragement to continue on following your soul's path, even when everything around you might be saying, no, you can't find happiness, you can't find meaning in this, you can't find your flow in this, and the universe says different. So the Sun card, we have the sun beaming down on us every day. It is the most unchanging thing in our lives. Even in the winter, it gives the light. Even in the cold times when the heat isn't quite so felt by it, it gives that light. So it speaks of enlightenment. It speaks of bringing what is above into the below. Now, again, this is a very powerful combination, in that I mentioned on Wayne's show the other day when we did Tarot Friday, in that Judgment card kept coming up for people then too. It's kept coming up in the daily energy reading. And so this is ruled by the planet Pluto, which rules the underworld. And so it is to speak of that the sun actually still manages to emit a light that permeates even the darkest depths of the soil, in that there's certain life forms that grow, plants that grow in complete darkness, but they are receiving a certain UV light. And so that even in our darkness, when we can connect that source of enlightenment, that source of fire and power, and find happiness even in our lower frequencies, in the lower frequency of self, that is when huge transformation takes place. Huge astronomical transformation takes place for a soul, in that you're chiseling those inner demons, those inner diamonds, into light refracting gems that can then shoot your consciousness even higher. And it speaks to current state, in that we are in what would seem like very dark, dim, very depressive times. But in those times, if you can be one of those people that finds your soul path, that gets back out of your lower frequency, your dark tomb, to rise again into a new way of being, into a new life, into a new direction, then that is going to be very powerful for you. That is going to be huge for you. Because for you to be able to transmute this light way above you and channel that all down into you, to be able to reflect the same light back up from the lower frequency of you into all of the crevices within you, right back up to the top. What a circuit board that is. So, you know, we are in testing times, but how do we indeed test any kind of consciousness or any kind of leveling up that we've done, any spiritual grounding that we've done, any foundational work that we've done, if we cannot use it in the darkest times, if we cannot see that the light of the sun in a dark room, it becomes even more bright, it becomes even more apparent. And so this enlightenment within self, something clicks. Hopefully the circuit board clicks of what I've been banging on about as being such powerful electromagnetic beings, and that the very realm, the very mother that we are sitting upon right now is an electromagnetic living being too. And so if we can emit, even in the darkest caves of self, a powerful frequency of building, of constructing, of polishing and chiseling, then what kind of emission that would be of a frequency to feed back to the mother. And like anything, nature will respond when we put that out there. That will actually help turn things around in our favor. That will actually help the progression of the sun, yes, the progression of the age. New things are going to come in. We always hate these new scary things, but let's harness them for good. Let's absolutely emit a really high frequency so that we can actually get on top of this, rather than people of elite globalist nature who are wanting and choosing to act in the lower frequency realm for the harm of others and the betterment of self. Let's take that over. Let's be the psyop in their psyops by not falling for their tricks of fear, not falling for their tricks of doom, that no matter how much darkness they might cast over our earth right now, over our mother, no matter how much of a dark veil they might put over our freedoms, over what would seem like our limitations, no, let's blow that out the water. Because they're putting that darkness in, we can contrast our light and we can emphasize it tenfold, 100-fold, because the darkness is there to make it also more apparent. So that's a really powerful combination. And then we have the prophetess. So this being the 13 of moons, and so that again being a 4. So this is the truth teller. She is in balance. Look, she's on a red moon, speaking of her connection to the earth, and then she has a connection right above her head to the above. So it really does speak of the as above, so below. And to if you can't get any more clear, I mean, that's exactly what we've been saying here. To bring this sun to your lowest frequency, to your darkest time, to bring this sun to the lowest collective stage agendas is so powerful. And then to recognize it again, this is a truth teller. It is the air. She is in balance. So she's managing to transmute the energy of the above to her below and back up again. And so she's creating this circuit board for this real high frequency energy. And it is, she's got an understanding energy, yet she doesn't mind telling the truth, but she does it in a balanced way, in that with every dark truth that might be shared right now, she can show you that you can transmute light into that dark truth. You can transmute healing into that dark truth. So whether that is for you in your individual life, or whether it is for you to help do your bit and put this out, emit this out through your powerful electromagnetic being, then it is for all of us to do, one way or the other, really both. And so there's victory in this with this 6 of Wands. And so this is huge victory, in that this is a real turning point for a lot of people today, a real key being turned. People like me banging on higher wisdom coming from higher self, true essence self, in that it is all about perception, and we have time to change our perception. We have time, therefore, to change the reality that we're living through right now around, and not throw the baby out with the bathwater. This speaks of moon cycles, the prophetess. So there is, and the sun also speaks of different ages, different cycles. We are moving into a different cycle, especially with this judgment card. But if we are going to be all doom and gloom in the dark and be put where we're told to be put, in the dark, in the lower realm, and stay there, instead of us thinking, well, we've been put here, We're going to use this time to chisel our lower realms, so we make it so light refractive and light reflective that it makes this huge, beautiful circuit board to bring in victory. And yes, harness the new things that are coming in with the new age. As the new age, every new age brings in new things. And we're coming into an age of air with Aquarius, and so it is going to be different, and that can be perturbing. But you know, if we are there to harness it, if we are there to get ahead and plant our seeds at the right times of the month with the right part of the moon cycle, there's a time to plant, there's a time to harvest, there's a time to eat, and there's a time to plant again or prepare the ground, however it might be. But you look at what you need to do in your individual life and what you need to accomplish and what you would like to see on the collective stage, and it will help you decipher which part of the moon cycle you need to be really hitting certain points on to really bring home the reality and the victory that you want in your individual life and on the collective stage. And so the next two cards, again, super powerful, because we have the Papis and her same, the sister, the same, the twin, the High Priestess. So these are both the same cards. These are both the same energies. So these speak to the occult energies, the secret magic, the element magic, the knowing of thyself spiritually, and the power that you harness within that. So for this to be a 4, and this to be rounded down to a 4, we look at the fact that this is telling us to use them at their own game, where they like to distract us and like us to do outwardly expressions. They like to make us and tease us into externalizing everything. All of these cards talk about transmuting the within, the energies within, and then emitting them out. So where they are at secret practice, occult practice that isn't for the greater good, do it back. Do it back. And that is by changing your perception. That even in your darkest time, stop looking at the 3 of Cups that are spilt over. Look behind you. You have a balance of your divine feminine, divine masculine behind you to pick up, channel your emotions. Don't let these emotions channel you. See it in a different way. Look at it in a different way. Find a way to say, okay, you're going to put me in the darkness, then I'm going to emit such a high frequency from the darkness that it actually means that it's amplified by 2. And you throw 1 back at me, I'm going to throw back a higher frequency back at you, collective stage, elitist, globalist, dark art pricks, you know, that you won't even know what's hit you. You won't even know. All you're going to know is that we are feeling love down here. We are feeling love for self down here. Even in our lower realms, we are feeling an understanding and a compassion for self down here, and therefore others outside of self. We are respecting these cycles. We're respecting these changes that are coming in with new enlightenment, but we're going to bring them in with you. And we're going to bring in things that can really heal people. We're going to bring in real wholeness. We're going to bring in far less division. We're going to be able to pull together the 4. We're going to build cornerstone foundation. We're going to build an understanding with one another so that you can't quite divide us the way you've liked to be dividing us thus far. Be powerful about it. Be a bit stern with yourself. Have a bit of a talk to yourself. I had to have a bit of a talk to myself yesterday. So, you know, be a bit stern with yourself. Have a bit of a talk to yourself. If you're just going to concentrate on these 3 cups, you know, because you're doing nobody else any favors and neither yourself, more so yourself. And so on the bottom of the other deck, we have the 4 of spheres. So building that foundation, there's a flock to be tended to. These bears on either side of this guy, absolutely representative of the flock, a young flock that needs to be cared for. The earth that is in his hand with this plant, this twig, this tree in his hand, with the bird on top, the air. it's to speak of there's things that need to be tended to, but going about them the wrong way, externalizing everything to whatever trigger they send out for us to externalize to, whatever trick they try and put us into. It's time to see how the occult really works. It's time to get down and dirty with them while you're in those lower realms, while we're under this cast and shadow that they're putting us under. Fine, let's shine a light, let's shine the sun in the darkest corners. You can't understand right now until you start doing this how powerful this is, how empowering this is, and how capable that you are of being able to do it. So that's the reading for the 27th of September 2020. I appreciate you all being here. I appreciate all the new clients that are coming to me, helping me sustain my family. It really is very, very much appreciated, not just by me, but I know from my children too. I appreciate you coming in here and listening every day. And I'm sending you guys that come here to listen every day and spread the word about the channel so much love, so much gratitude, so much appreciation, that I want you to feel that with my full-blown intent behind it to help you start this day right and get out of it what you need and what you want to get out of it. Much love, be balanced and be whole. Mwah.